you go. West Ham have won the inaugural Boyle Sports Cup. It don't get any better than that, really, does it? I say we won it. We won it on penalties. It was 1-1 after full time. They went to penalties. At the time, I thought, well, why are they doing this? But actually, I'm quite glad they did. Well, because we won, I guess. And it was quite fitting, actually, because Areola made back-to-back saves in the penalty shootout, which basically clinched us the win. That was after, because we missed our first penalty, which was Niclas Füllkrug. But I'm not putting anything into that. I think it was nice for Areola, but I'm not really going to overly factor that stuff into, my overview of what was a game. Yes, it was a pre-season friendly, just a pre-season friendly, but the most important pre-season friendly because it's the closest one to the start of the season. Although I think we are, I'm not even sure, I think we're playing the same team again behind closed doors. So I guess in that match it'll be a chance for people like Callum Marshall, Callum Wilson, all the Callums can play in that one, and certainly Edson Alvarez, who didn't feature in this game, which I thought was, strange. I expected to see him. One thing I was pleased about was to see Freddie Potts start, because I did think if we didn't see Freddie Potts in this game to start this game against Lille, there was no way he was going to start against Sunderland next week. The midfield did not play well. It has to be said. Let me just get that straight out. We weren't particularly good. First half, we weren't very good at all. There were really only two players that shone in the first half. I think they were both wing backs. I think obviously it's difficult because you don't want to keep talking about the same player all the time, and you want to sort of mix the videos up, and you don't want to say the same thing every day, do you? But Magic Diouf's really good, really, really good. We've got some player there, and yes, at the risk of repeating myself, I am going to repeat myself. It makes me want to see what else Graham Potter and Carl McCauley can unearth. I want to see more. I'm really looking forward to seeing the goalkeeper. Obviously, he's signed. It's official. That was all done before the game. And that's why it's sort of nice for Areola as well. Don't get me wrong. I want the new keeper to come in. I want the new keeper to be number one. But it's nice for Areola to get a bit of the glory in that game today, in that friendly. But yeah, Diouf is a hell of a player. After 10 minutes, showed his intent with a really, really wonderful ball across from a little bit deeper this time. Fell to Bowen. And that wasn't going to be the only time it happened. There was another one to Bowen. There was another one to Füllkrug. There was a lovely exchange of play down the left with actually that he did with a Gerd. In the end, it ended up a Gerd being in the left wing back crossing position. He put a lovely ball in as well, which I think that just evaded Füllkrug. But there is enough there to demonstrate what a good player he is. Aaron Wan-Bissaka didn't have. He maybe didn't have a man of the match game, but again, there was enough there. There was one absolute go gadget leg was on display. And it was actually Todibo had gone forward early in the game to press. Got caught out of position. Happens quite a lot. I guess it's part of the tactics that Wan-Bissaka's there to cover him. Wan-Bissaka made a really, really good sprint back tackle. That sort of one-on-one defending that he's well known for, isn't he? Extender leg came out, telescopic leg, won the tackle really, really well. He had to be quite good with his passing at the start because Lille were pressing really well, and they were a better team in the first half. And you may remember when we were being linked with Jonathan David and Angel Gomez. You might remember I did a video and I picked out a player that Lille had who was Håkon Haraldsson. Haraldsson. Oh, Harold. Sorry, it's all turned a bit steptoe and son there. You filthy old man. It was not Haraldsson, not me actually, somebody else. Anyway, so Haraldsson, I thought he was really good. I would love to see him at West Ham. Actually, think he's a really, really good player. I thought he gave our midfield all sorts of problems, really. We're slow. We're a slow team. The midfield was Potts, Ward-Prowse and Paqueta. I actually thought Ward-Prowse was the best of them in this game, actually. He should have scored. Bowen did a lovely bit of trickery, lovely bit of footwork down, sort of on the left wing byline, if you want, and he cut the ball back. Actually, it's a little bit of a ricochet, but Ward-Prowse should have scored, probably. Had some average corners. We had a few corners. We had some average ones, a couple of decent ones. In fact, one from a Gerd. He probably should have headed that in. But I didn't think we were very good in midfield. I thought Lucas Paqueta wasn't particularly good. I'm not going to say anything you haven't heard and anything you don't know here. I do think the midfielder coming in is going to be transformative. We need that. It needs to happen really soon because it's not good enough for us to open up defences, not centrally. We're really not that great at it. That being said, there was a really nice bit where we won possession, and it was actually Füllkrug that played Bowen through. It was not dissimilar to his run through against Prague, but in the Conference League final. But he sort of dragged it just a little bit wide. But they were all right. Füllkrug and Bowen were all right as a partnership in this game, and actually, Füllkrug did get a goal. The goal was, I'm jumping from one player to another here just as it sort of pops into my brain. I haven't got any notes for this. As it was actually, funny enough, it was Bowen's pressing. Actually, Bowen's pressing, nicked the ball right high up in the opposite end of the pitch. He then Bowen gave the ball to Souček, who'd come on for Paqueta. And Souček basically picked out Füllkrug. A little nice pullback, a little bit behind him, if I'm honest. Füllkrug scored. But Füllkrug had a really good header from a Wan-Bissaka cross. So Wan-Bissaka did a couple of good crosses. That's what I was talking about earlier. Wan-Bissaka, maybe not his best game, but a lot of his good stuff was on show. The way he was carrying the ball forward was good. So, yeah, I think we're strong I don't think we are strong in those wide areas. That's really good from wing-backs. I mean, we've played pretty much that shape throughout pre-season, haven't we? So, yeah, I mean, that part of it was good. There were some good points. Everyone in all three central defenders had good moments. As I mentioned earlier on, the run down the wing from Agurd, that was good. Kilman did a really, really good run forward as well, which was really good. Run and dribble into midfield. And then Todibo did that as well. And actually, Todibo, he played in Magic Diouf, actually, with a pass into that area of the pitch. So he'd almost come from sort of right centre-back over to almost, by the time he played the pass, he was almost in left midfield. So they all showed an ability to move into midfield, which I quite liked that. The goal, I think it may have been offside. It is hard to tell. I mean, because you're just sort of watching it on the West Ham stream. And, obviously there's no VAR, which is fine. I don't like VAR anyway. But in terms of watching the game, you didn't get a lot of time to watch it. But either one of two things happened. Either Aaron Wan-Bissaka, actually one of three things happened. Either it was offside, in which case it should have been ruled out, or Aaron Wan-Bissaka played Olivier Giroud and there was someone else with him onside, or Todibo and particularly Kilman didn't defend particularly well. So one of those three things happened. When it came over to Giroud, it was such a good. He did a David Platt really, but in reverse. Got to be of a certain age to know. Did a David Platt against Belgium, if you know what that means. But he really struck it really, really well, actually. And Areola didn't really have any chance with that, so that was fine. He didn't have much to do, Areola, in the game. Obviously, the penalty shootout he did. Didn't have much to do, though. But it was a bit boring. Boring in the first half. We were too deep. Midfield wasn't really functioning. Pointless me talking about midfield. It needs to be sorted out. And just because I said I thought Ward-Prowse was the best of the three of them, he's still the person I would take out because I think that is the key to unlocking it. Basically, Ward-Prowse covered every blade of grass. I think you can get that anyway. I just think you can get someone more quality covering it. But I do understand why at the moment Potter picks him. But it's just not gonna. It's not going to do it if we want to open teams up, because at the moment we're just not opening teams up really through the middle of the pitch. It's coming from wide really, or particularly the pressing or the hard work of the forwards. I liked what I saw from Füllkrug today. I don't think we saw the best of Bowen, but every time I see him, I actually think he's improving all the time. Bowen, and he's going to have a good season. I think we're going to score some goals, and if those two can keep fit, we'll be all right. But yeah, come on. Let's sort the midfield out. Substitutes. Well, Rodriguez came on. I don't really know why. I don't know. I don't know why he came on and not Alvarez or Orford or almost anyone else. I just can't. he must. It's really important he doesn't play for us because he's so slow. He's so slow. And actually, funny enough, that was Ward-Prowse actually bailed him out because he lost the ball, Rodriguez, and he just didn't. I don't want to be too harsh to say he couldn't be asked to get back. Maybe that was him being asked. He's just slow. And in the end, it was actually Ward-Prowse ended up being the last line of defence, got back even deeper than all our central defenders, and actually took the ball off the geezer's foot. So yeah, I thought in terms of endeavour, Ward-Prowse, you could have no complaints. But in terms of quality, we're just going to need so much more than that. We were better in the second half. We probably deserved to win because I thought we had more shots. I haven't seen the stats, the data. We had more shots than them, so we deserved to win. I thought we were much better in the second half as well. And there were positives, and I've already mentioned where they are and where they were. I thought he wasn't on for long. I think the substitutes were only brought on in the 75th minute, something like that. So he didn't see much of Kyle Walker-Peters, but Todibo came off, so Obi-Wan-Bissaka went in at right centre-back and Walker-Peters went in at right wing-back. He's tricky. He's tricky. I think people are going to like him. I think so. I think he's going to be a good signing. So, it'd be really good player to bring off the bench. And don't be surprised if you see that quite a lot. I think we'll see that a lot. That exact substitution. Todibo off, Walker-Peters on, and then Aaron Wan-Bissaka moving to right centre-back. I think we'll see that, and it sort of makes sense. I like it, actually. I like that. Don't mind that at all. Right, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed the game if you watched it. One more week to go until the season starts. So, yeah, anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll have a little chat. I think I'm going to have a chat with Michael, actually. We're going to get Michael on, have a little chat about the game. And then I guess we've got a load of transfer speculation for the first half of next week. And then we've got a build-up to the game. So, nice to have some football back. That wasn't the most entertaining game in the world, but it was entertaining at the end. The penalties, say what you want about them. They are entertaining. And it was a bit of good fun, wasn't it? It's not. There's nothing on it. It's a bit of fun. Boyle Sports Cup and at the stadium, and we win. Brilliant. What's not to like?